Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more top pro gamer ladder games. Here today I have Light in the bottom right, and in the top right I have Invade. So should be a good one. I'm sure you guys already know Light. No one really stronger than him right now. Just an absolute monster of the Terran race and of StarCraft in general. Invade is someone who I have casted quite a few games on the channel. He is one of these up-and-coming Protoss players, not in ASL yet, but right on the brink, right? Like, this is a 2600 MMR plus Protoss player. Everyone knows who he is, and we'll see what he can do here against Light. The map is Tempest, so it is a pretty good map for Protoss overall. And I'll be interested to see how Light wants to go about playing on this map. I've definitely seen some really interesting builds because of the way the natural is made here. You can see it is, if you zoom way out to take a look, low ground main, high ground natural with a ramp. So you get a lot of Nexus first here, but you can also do things like gateway expansion, which can put a damper on your opponent's ideas of expanding quickly on the map as well. Anyways, while we wait for them to scout each other and show us exactly what they want to do for these builds, I want to thank you guys so very much for checking out ArtosisCasts. Hope you've been enjoying all the different games. We are going to be getting into a couple show matches that I have that I want to show you guys in about the coming week or so. But continued great ladder games in there as well. And as soon as another big tournament that I can get the games from come up, we'll be doing that also. So yeah, hope that you guys are enjoying, and thank you so much for subscribing to the channel if you haven't done that already. Any likes and comments are fantastic as well. So yeah, anyways, right now Light runs into the probe. He is making a forward barracks. So right now what he's trying to do is expand very, very quickly. Light wants to go ahead and get his command center up ASAP. Because he saw the probe coming, he does have to start a marine and a second depot. This makes like a pretty damn good wall right here. So that's good defense. Zaw is coming down. You could probably finish this wall, honestly, with another depot. Now, the gas gets stolen, and that could be a bit problematic, right? The gas, like, you're going to have to defend the front against the Zealot, but also kill the gas, but also get your command center. But it looks like, actually, across the map, Invade has got his own gas and cybernetics core, so actually that makes it a lot easier for Light. I'm a little bit surprised that he's teching, honestly. You know, you can't really put that much pressure on someone on this map. Now, the Zealot's going to come up, and Light's Marines are out of position, so maybe that helps a little bit. Oh, Light misses right there. Doesn't run through that little hole in the depot. There is a second Zealot on the way as well, so things could get a little bit dicey. The Zealot running back. He's trying to buy some time for that other Zealot to come. Oh, it looks like probably going to be a proxy robotics going down here for Invade, who just right-clicks his Zealots forward here and going to get on top of these Marines somewhat. Oh, God. Brings... Well, I mean, this is pretty good by Light. Oh, very nice usage of that depot, but no Zealot split. If you actually split the Zealots to two sides there, you do a lot of damage. It's kind of surprising sometimes, honestly, to see Protoss players not do something very simple like split the Zealots when there's one micro hole there. Like, I can swear to you that most S-rank players will do that. Most B-rank players will do that. But Invade just keeps holding them together, pushing forward right now with these Zealots. Some very good SCV blocking going on by Light. So it looks like he should be able to end up holding this. Another Zealot's coming in, which is annoying. But there's 4 Marines with good health. So he will be able to deal with that. The SCV's coming up here to fight as well. Oops. Looks like we have a little bit of miscontrol there, unfortunately. So Light losing even more Marines here. And yeah, it looks like that'll be about that. He holds it off. And there is that proxy robo we were talking about before. So Light right now knows something is up, for sure. He's scouting around. There's no Nexus. He sees 3 pylons and just nothing else. Like, something's missing, right? Even making those Zealots, you would have enough money to make your Nexus. So he knows that there's something going on, something proxied. Now, the bunker on top of the ramp holds basically infinity. Oh, you know what? I think this is unbuildable, so I don't think you can do a full wall. But this will hold like any amount of goons and Zealots, basically, if you just repair it lightly. But the Robo is going to be a lot harder to deal with. There is a factory on the way. There is an engineering bay on the way. He's not making any more Marines. But right now, Light is up 7 workers. So even if you get some damage off on him, it's likely he could still be ahead at that point. Now, the Dragoon trying to chase down the SCV brought these Marines out to make sure that SCV could get home. And it looks like, yeah, Light was scouting over here a little bit. So you know what? I think that he knows exactly what's going on at this point. Leaves a Marine in the bunker here and still making more Marines. You can see him get into a better position over here. So he's getting enough units together so that you can't just unload instantly. Starts off a missile turret, and the Marines are going to help him to block. More SCVs coming up right now as well. And you can see this is just excellent, excellent defense. Without any doubt, right? Like that is superb. And now with the missile turrets going up, it becomes much, much harder to make this work out, right? As long as the turrets can't be killed by the Dragoons on the high ground, which I think they're exactly out of Dragoon range, he's going to be pretty safe. Now, siege mode on the way, getting a starport as well, so that's going to be for a quick Wraith here. And, I mean, the Reaver can attack, but you can repair this from behind. It looks like he actually is going to break it. Oh, just barely doesn't break it there, but he should be able to break it now. Yeah, down it goes. So that's a little bit sloppy from Light. He absolutely could have saved that. And now the Reaver is starting to get a little bit of value here. Some excellent play from Invade to be able to break through that bunker. But honestly, that was a bit of a mistake there from Light as well. Takes a lot of hits from that missile turret. Is going to be able to blow that up as well. And he's taking control of the high ground. So you're going to have to push out of here with siege mode. By the way, no Nexus yet. If he had a Nexus up, obviously this game would be very close to over right now. But as is, like, I think Light should be okay. I think he should be able to hold on against this. You just keep that bunker alive. You've got the siege tank with siege mode. I mean, it is certainly a lot of damage, but still the worker count is in Light's favor. He has good tech as well, right? Siege tanks with siege mode, a Wraith, starting another factory. So there are, and some missile turrets too, right? So there are some good things going on for him, but this is going to be highly annoying to break out of. He's going to have to kind of creep up with siege tanks. You're probably not going to get up here until at least 5 siege tanks. Yeah, that's a bit rough, right? If you ever get contained like this, that is a very, very tough scenario. But, you know, a lot of this is Light's fault. He just did not get that bunker repaired quickly enough. Now, spreading out his siege tanks a bit more, you want to kind of keep them like this, like he has them, and inch them forward. Having these buildings there it does stop like any attack move type plays that could occur as well. Sieging up on the edge. You want maximum hits here. Another missile turret goes down. Invade backing up for now. He's just making this as slow as possible. Double Nexus for Invade, by the way, which I think is an absolutely excellent choice. Observer tech coming in as well. He is making those observers. One flies over a missile turret and dies. You know, a good setup. So here we're on 4 tanks. I said I think it would take him 5 before he can push up. It looks like he's using these 3 to guard building a turret, also floating a building over it. So going to be very hard to target down. You know, the siege tank in siege mode is just slightly longer range than the Reaver. So that's why you're seeing it like this. So here, he finally puts a unit on the high ground. The 5th tank is about to pop out. And yeah, I think at this point, you're going to push this tank up here, siege up, bring your 2 vultures in front, and you should be able to reclaim this now with the 5 tanks. So moves up there. Okay, look at this. Pulling the tank back. Really important moment here. You got to make sure you're not losing any of these. He draws the Dragoons into siege tank fire, and now he has to back up. So, yeah, that's exactly what you needed to do. Light basically got up there as quickly as he could. Okay, that was... He wasn't going to get up there any quicker than that. Trust me. Every Terran has been through this type of things a lot of times. You have to be patient about it, and you have to clear it correctly. And if you try to push before like about 5 tanks, then you're not going to have the damage output to actually force your way. So finally, Light starts mining here. He's up by 2 workers right now, but that is going to change as Invade has 3 Nexuses up. Macroing pretty cleanly right now. Some vultures coming out for Light. So he's going to see if he can get any damage across the map. He did upgrade the speed upgrade while he had this 2nd factory. You know, he was very light on gas, so wasn't really able to buy anything else. So he's just made a few vultures here. And he doesn't know about this base. He could have run in here and gotten a lot of probes, but it looks like that's going to be well defended now. The vultures have taken a little bit of a beating. I think he'll continue to scout a little bit. He is getting mines with them, but it's not ready quite yet. You can see this very nice arc if we zoom out, right? So you have the robo, set of goons and reavers. Nothing on this side. So there is technically a way out, but the observer is watching everything that could occur here. So Invade has a ton of intel. The only thing he doesn't know is where those 4 vultures are right now. As far as Light, he doesn't have good information as to exactly what's going on. He knows there's some amount of gateways. He knows there's a proxy robo, but not a lot else. Now Light starts to push out a little bit, throwing down this low ground missile turret. It'll be interesting to see where he wants to go for his additional base. I think on Tempest, I'm fairly certain this is the best third base for Terran, but I'm not 100%. I haven't seen a ton of games here. I've played a fair amount of games here myself, and this feels like the best base to take. It's not the easiest thing to defend, but, you know, once you get up to a good supply, you can use the terrain a little bit, use the command center a little bit to defend your tanks, and it gives you a launching position to attack in different directions. Whether you want to try to take the high ground in the center and push from there, or you want to go around the sides of the map. So yeah, he does start his third command center right here. It's a little bit late. Obviously, the game has been kind of wonky to open up, but he's getting that third in pretty good time in relation to what's going on for Invade. Invade right now in those mid-60s for probes. I don't think he'll add too many more, but certainly he's going to want to think about more nexuses. He's added a fair amount of gateways. Oh, a little bit of an attempted drop here. An attempted drop. He leaves 1 vulture. That's just going to force some units to come back to clear it out. You know, if your probes go to the side, it could get some kills. Looks like he didn't have it placed perfectly, but whatever. The Dragoon comes in, clears that up. Some mines on the side as well. He's trying to make sure this base doesn't get taken. This would be one of the hardest bases to clear for Light. So I think that's a smart move. Now, double shuttle coming in. Oh my God, this one has the Reavers in it. It's super, super low, but will fly right on past as the other one takes all the tanking damage. The Wraith comes in, and it's going to target that shuttle down first so the Reavers can't be microed. Brings up a siege tank and sieges it. Look at this, going after the armory, going after some of the supply depots here as well. Pretty trendy move. The armory will be picked off, but it was not upgrading at that moment. Still some more damage being dealt to the Reaver. Even the Wraith trying to help out here. Oh, God. Ooh, just barely doesn't get that extra Scarab shot off. So Light is going to retain over 50 SCVs, which is important. You know, he did kill the Robo on that swipe, so on that little push. So it is forcing another Robo at home here for Invade. Templar Archives coming up. There is the 4th base, and definitely a 5th base is going to be what Invade needs next. You know, Invade, he is up a little bit in supply. Honestly, his army quality isn't super high. Like, he's got decent army supply right now, right? And you know, he's got speed lots, he's got ranged dragoons, so those are something, but no upgrades. We don't have Psystorm yet. The Templar Archives is just finishing. Lost 2 speed shuttles there, no Reavers, right? So his army is not really very high quality. Definitely right now, Light having a much better looking army. Now, Light's upgrades are not super fantastic either. He is going for that +2 there. Didn't see a second armory made, so looks like it's just going to be the +2 attack, and that's completely fine. His gas is a bit low right now. Probably will add that second armory in a little bit. But yeah, Light, he's got a pretty entrenched position here in the center. The question is, how and where do you want to push? Probably you want to push towards this. Everything else, I think, would take a little bit too long. But you can't really push through this army right now. In fact, I think you're going to have to he's going to have to waste units, or Light's going to have to max out before a real push occurs. Now, here we go. Comes in, drops off a bunch of Zealots through this shuttle, trying to bomb them. Light unsieges for the most part. Going to go ahead, re-siege here. There are a lot of speed lots coming in right now. Vultures trying to shoot these down. And in fact, the speed lots get kind of stuck behind the Dragoons there a little bit by Invade. And Light actually holds that relatively easily. Invade loses a lot of units, and we're actually pretty even on supply here once again. Light sitting on 6 factories, macroing up very, very cleanly, maybe getting ready to take another base over here as well. Look at this, setting up a bunker, going to send whatever Marines he may have over. I don't think he has any Marines, does he? Is he actually going to make more Marines at this point in the game? That's kind of an interesting thing if he does. Yeah, I mean, I'm 99% sure he doesn't have any Marines, so might be landing this and making some. You know, it eats up a good amount of shots because it has 350 health. But honestly, at this point in the game, I almost feel like it's better to just throw a depot down, right? Like just anything that sucks up shots. Depots have 500 health compared to 350. And it's gonna, you know, you're not gonna have to make Marines that are dealing 6 damage against upgraded units, which I guess these aren't upgraded yet, but still, they all have base 1 armor. So anyways, the probe is over here wanting to expand. Like I mentioned, this is probably the hardest base on the map for Light to attack. Well, maybe other than this one. So that's why he's kind of got it mined up. Hopefully he can shut down that probe. Invade right now is expanding again to this top left. I think that's a really excellent location. But that might allow Light to push to here and then have multiple push routes towards other bases. Nope, Light decides to go towards the center of the map. Right now, when you look at the army of both sides, ooh, just barely catching that Sidestorm drop. Good runaway from Light. Look, I think he only lost 2 SCVs there. That's what I heard. But anyways, it looks like Light taking control of this high ground. This is a very powerful move, right? The high ground is important because you can hit everywhere very, very quickly. Now, he doesn't have much anti-air. He brings his 2 wraiths up with the Science Vessel. That is some good high-quality anti-air. Can pick off you know, observers, can go after any shuttles, things like that. And now pushing into this 4th base. So the 4th base going to be taken out. Invade, in the meantime, going around this army right now. He's got High Templars in this shuttle, so that makes his army much scarier than it would have been otherwise. Oh, the mine gets dragged into some of those zealots. Uh-oh, some bad pathing right there. Only a very small portion of his army coming in and engaging. It looks like it will actually be able to kill a few of these Siege Tanks. And some good Psy Storms actually go down here. Psy Storms all over these Siege Tanks and Vultures. Some big problems right now for Light. Invade pushing forward more, but the Vultures are here to help now. So yeah, he does end up turning around. But that was a very good first half of that engagement for Invade. And in fact, he saved this Nexus somehow. Now, I don't think the Nexus will live. I think Light is going to be able to kill it off. But this might be an opportunity to kill more tanks. If Invade could kill, like, this group of tanks here, that would be a very hard game for Light to come back in. Okay, so he finishes the Nexus. But honestly, like, you might be able to break it with a couple good Psy Storms. There's one. Are we going to have another one here? Another beautiful Psy Storm. And look at that. That entire army gets wiped. Now, there are more units rallying up here for Light. So he's still got some high quality units for sure. It looks like he has 3 add-ons, so able to refill those siege tanks relatively quickly. But his economy not looking super hot. He's knocked down 1 base for Invade, but Invade is on 4 bases after having taken this Nexus. Looks like he's planning on taking another one here. Some photon cannons on the high ground to be a little bit annoying for Light to try to harass it. He's going to definitely have to bring siege tanks to kill that base. But Light, for the most part, backs up. I kind of like this idea that he's showing with, you know, the missile turret. I think the glides should actually be pulled back. But a siege tank, some mines, a missile turret, just kind of clogging up this area, making this awkward. Maybe his opponent will avoid this area. And that would be a very powerful thing for Light. Even though this can be cleaned, it takes attention to clean it efficiently. It looks like we had some a Psy Storm drop. The SCV count didn't really change right there. So Light avoiding those drops pretty darn well. Another attack up into the center. Too few tanks here. And you can see Light getting in on top of this immediately. Kills off those tanks. I mean, Invade getting on top of Light's tanks immediately and kills those off. Very good play there from Invade. He's really cleaning up a lot of high-quality units from Light in the center of the map. Now, Light has his 4th base. Just now getting the ComSat. You know, brand fresh new minerals here. Lots of SCVs being sent over as well. So very important for Light to have that 4th base. You know, he may have to end up thinking about a 5th base, but, you know, this is getting a little bit tricky, right? If you look at the layout of this map, let's zoom out once again. I'm sorry, I'm such a nerd for the zoom out. I love the zoom out feature. You know, 20 years without a zoom out feature. Now that it's here, I can't stop using it. But when you zoom out, you really see the layout of the map, right? There's so many paths around. Now, he brings up the High Templars for another drop here. Now, there's a lot of mines laid out. These are probably actually anti-High Templar mines. This is something you do with expansions like this. You have to lay mines like that to try to prevent Psystorm drops from absolutely ruining your economy, because you can't keep an eye on everything. So once Light has taken this 4th base, like, he's getting very good macro. He's starting to move out into the center of the map a little bit here. Back goes Invade. Invade is trying to retake this base. That's kind of funny, right? This is going to be his 6th base now. It used to be his 4th. It looks like it should be shut down pretty quickly. How many High Templars? Only these 2 in the shuttle? Okay, he does have a few more over here. Nothing in that shuttle as of yet. But definitely really important to continually utilize these shuttles and these High Templars. Without the storms, you don't have much of a chance. But with the storms, you can take some insane battles as Protoss. Now, +3, +1 upgrades are done for Light. Invade over here with 2-1, but he does have 3-2 on the way, and that +2 armor for Light on the way as well. Some more gateways being made. A lot of photon cannons. Oh my god, he's taking this Nexus as well. Honestly, these middle bases, I don't know how you're supposed to hold these. Because if Light continually takes the center, like, you're going to have to hold the center if you want to hold these center bases. But it is a hard thing to do against Light. Light is really entrenched up here. Once again, another attack from Invade into this area. Light will end up holding that, pushes him back down. And yeah, if Light can push over here, continue to hold this spot. Look at this, 5 Goliaths with +3 attack. You can't really get very close with shuttles. He's going to try to target that down. Does end up killing the shuttle, but the High Templar gets out. Gets a very good Psystorm there. Ooh, a second good Psystorm as well. More units coming in from Invade. A little bit late on those units. The Zealots are going to get up on top of some of the Siege Tanks, but mostly just trade out for Vultures, which is not what you're looking for. Cancels this Nexus out. Going to want to cancel those as well. Looks like they'll just get killed. And Invade loses a lot of army. Very close as far as supply. Right now, a bigger and better army exists for Light, but we have a spread of units. Look at this. 4 High Templars and a DT over here. All the gateways all over the place are producing. Loading up some more shuttles. There's not really a good amount of Dragoons anywhere, so he can't really clear mines right now. But there's not a lot of anti-air. We just saw that final Goliath get picked off by the photon cannon. There are some more coming up right now, but this might be a good time to use those shuttles as the anti-air is not so strong. Now, this Nexus gets picked off. Obviously, as we can see, the base is mined out, right? The forages are all that's left here that really matters. And in fact, he doesn't even leave anything to kill those. So not the biggest move. Like, you feel good about it, I think, you know, removing a part of the map. But it's not actually very impactful to the state of the game. Now, Light coming over, these photon cannons, forcing him to move slowly here. He is losing and bleeding a few units up into those cannons. It's also saving that Nexus, giving him time to throw off Psystorms. A lot of Psystorms going off. Light kind of dancing against those, utilizing Defense Matrix as well. And, ooh, a big volley onto those probes. The probe count falling dramatically here. Down below Light for, like, the first time in the game, basically. And now looking at the minimap, you can see Light has truly taken control of this game. What a strong Terran player. He's got this area once again mined up with a siege tank. Lots of mines here, a couple siege tanks as well. He's pushing into the top left. The bottom right has vultures, so it's not very easy to expand to, and lots of mines leading to his expansions as well. I got to tell you, this here is one of the more impressive things that we're seeing this game. Oh, man, the Zealots drag a lot of mines into this army, though. But there's enough mines here that the first attack that comes in gets mostly slaughtered off. And that gives Light enough time to come up and reinforce it. So you can see more and more units coming in. But as the Zealots die, if it's only Dragoons or only Zealots, it's pretty easy to hold. It's the combination of the two that become a little bit harder. But yeah, he's killed off basically all of the Zealots there. Invade with a few Dragoons does end up breaking through and will deal some damage, but obviously Light coming in with a gigantic amount of siege tanks here. And he is going to be able to pound those goons back oh so quickly. And does Invade really have any chance left? His supply very, very low. This base is mining. His natural's almost gone. What's Light got? This base is healthy enough, and this one's really healthy. And honestly, at this point, he has so much map control. Oh, Invade actually did sneak a little expand over to the side finally. He's been wanting this one for a while, but Light is sending so many units. This is not going to be able to survive. Dragoons running in. And, well, maybe he can shuttle over some High Templars, but that's not going to be able to really hold on. He needs a bigger army than what he's showing us here. His army supply is super low at this point, and Light is going to be able to kill this Nexus in a matter of seconds. You know, this shuttle coming in and seeing what it can get done, if anything. But yeah, Protoss down on 2 base against Terran on 2 base at this stage in the game is not going to be a good one unless you have carriers out already, which obviously are not going to be a thing in this game. The odds of him recovering to that is like 0. When you just look at the mini map and the amount of brown, just the spider mines are giving him the most unbelievable scouting as to what's going on here. Vulture's moving up, picking off more units. Light just bringing his army together now, and you can see his supply is so incredibly high still. 171 with 53 workers is a really legitimate army. Now, some side storms go off. Okay, you know, these are clumped, but honestly, even if each of those High Templars kills 3 tanks, Light is still going to have enough. And I think that Invade, he doesn't really have anything left at this point. This is really it over here. Looks like he's trying to take another base, but so many of his units are being picked off, and you can see Light kind of just boxing him into a corner, right? Like, he keeps roaming back and forth, chasing the army back, dealing damage to it, reducing the unit count, keeping the army small enough that it can't really do very much, right? A little group of Dragoons like this can't do very much. They die so quickly as soon as they engage. The Psy Storms have certainly done well. He's picked off a lot, but that's going to be it. GG. Light takes down Invade.